Hello and welcome to Trucker's World for another video. It's been a week or two since I've posted one. Quite busy at the minute with work and general things, but hey, no excuses. Let's get one on. So today is about assessment number 2. I failed one of my first assessments, so I've been on another assessment, and to cut a long story short, I have passed. But I'm going to go through basically what I did. I'm not going to tell you which company it's for, but I'm going to tell you because probably most of them will run probably the same way. So morning took about, I'd say, 2 to 3 hours. It's crazy, isn't it? You know, I think if you were going for like a normal interview, maybe an hour, you know, for a high profile job, you know, maybe looking at an hour and a half, give or take. Here, you know, 2-3 hours, you know, do I agree with that? Not really, but that's it. You don't get paid for it either, do you? So you got to remember that. So getting there, a few of us were there. About 3 of us were doing it at the time. We got led in by a bloke. Felt a bit like in jail at first because it was very like, you know, follow me, you know, all the rules there. Anyway, checked our licenses, details, etc., etc., etc. All that, all the legal stuff. Then we had to sit 2 tests. One was driving theory. Basically taco rules, more or less, and the other was road signs. Taco rules, I did my my research, and you know, you should know most of them anyway. You can go on the government website, that's a good source as well, just to recap on a lot of things. And of course, the road signs, I had an old book at home. I did do most of them, but I'll be honest with you, you know, let me put this out there right now. I'd say it's the things that you don't think about that you might struggle with. So we were told that only one of us, and it wasn't me, would have passed this test a couple of months ago. Obviously, they've lowered the expectations, maybe coming off Christmas. But I was surprised because I did my taco rules, but it was more the road signs which tripped us all up. I thought I knew a lot of my road signs in all honesty. Some of them are a little bit unfamiliar with, but still, I went out there thinking, yeah, I've got most of them right. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. So if you do go for assessments, when you think you're going to pass, yeah, I'll pass the taco rules, I'll pass the road signs, it's not a given. I would certainly, my bit of advice would certainly concentrate on those things, because obviously you're driving, you should know, or you know what you're doing anyway. But it's those things that you don't think about that trip you up. Anyway, at the time then, the threshold was lowered, and therefore we passed. We were told, do we know manual entry? We were given a bit of a, you know, talking to about that. Again, you should know it really, but we were kind of strictly told about that. Then we go out, obviously, to do our assessments. First of all, you do your checks, and again, you know, some people I've heard have overlooked these checks, so they quickly do them, you know, as some of us might do at work, and they don't check all the nitty-gritty details. I mean, you've got to do everything by the book, especially big name companies. That's my advice, everything by the book. And I mean everything. Calibration dates, all license dates, checking them all, checking the height, everything. You know, the job I was working for before, the height was always on. The tractor unit was always attached. You know, so you knew every time the height, and it was always set, and you just knew it, and you just looked at it, and that was it. But on this one, you know, you had to put the height exactly, not even one up. Sometimes you get 13 foot 10, you might put 14 on there. Everything has to be by the book. So, I made sure I did all the right checks, really tried to remember everything, but I still forgot bits and bobs. Assessor did help me here and there, give me a few hints, to be fair. You know, there is a lot there. There are a lot of driver check sheets around. I'd get one. Get a driver check sheet. There'll be some online. Get one, revise it, do it. Then we went to the drive. The drive was actually the easiest part. Not too difficult, really. Obviously, you're minding where you are on the road, you're minding what you're doing, braking, distances, etc., etc. Then we come back into the yard, and it's reversing into a bay. I did reverse into a bay between 2 parked trailers. The bay is obviously not the ones where you literally there's no space, you know, certainly not. You do have a little bit of space between them. So that's what I did. The reverse went quite well, actually, you know, backed in, needed one shunt, that was it. I took my time, nice and easy, and it wasn't too bad. At the end, This classic question: how well do you think you did? Came to his lips. I said, I hate answering that question. You know, I was humble. I was thinking, I'm hoping I did okay. But he told me a couple of things. Some of them were quite high up on the serious list to say, look, you need to be checking that. Make sure you do that. Make sure you do that. You know, but again, you know, it's one without going into too much details. Like I said, the height was the main one. I did check it. I checked the height and I knew it was 14 foot, but I didn't put it on. So it's stuff like that, really. Overall, though, passed. Everything was fine. Give him a bit of feedback, and it was okay. The assessor was fine. You know, I think at that point in time, they do want to pass you because obviously they need the drivers in. But still, it really is an eye-opener. And if you do go for an assessment, I don't care if you've had 10 years, you know, 3 months, you know, 5 years, it doesn't really matter. Sometimes those with longer experiences might find it more difficult because they might be set in their ways, and it's very easy to get you set in the way. You know, working for 3 months for a company before, my videos have shown, got very set in my way in how I did my walk around check, and really, it's probably not the best practice, but that's how we are, you know, creatures of habit. So yeah, if you do go for an assessment, my top tips: if there is a written test, tacho test, road signs test, do your homework. Make sure you know them all by heart. And it's a pain, isn't it? It's a real pain, but you've just got to do it. You know, see if you can get a sample. Some maybe companies or agencies might have a sample of what you need to look at. So it might be worth asking for that. Certainly the tachos as well. Keep tabs on that. Make sure you know all the little nitty gritty rules. Some of them might not seem relevant, you know, to you, of what you've been doing. But again, see if you can get a sample from the company you're going for or the agency. If you can't, then just try and read up the best you can. Certainly get the basics right. You will be given some leeway, I reckon. You don't have to get them all right, but get the basics right. As far as your driving goes, the preparation I did was obviously maybe a week or so before. I made sure that I was driving very safely. I mean, I drive safely and slow anyway, but, you know, where you're conserving the fuel, not too close, you know, you're not rushing, nice and easy, signalling all the time, all that kind of stuff. Because if they do see you unsafe, you know, it's crazy, but they're not going to pass you because it's probably their head on the block if you go into an accident. So there you go. That's my assessment. All passed. They are quite difficult, I would say. However, I will say that if you do the prep on all those things I've mentioned, you should be all right, especially if you've had, you know, at least 6 months experience. You know, 3 months you should be all right maybe, but give or take, anything less you might struggle here and there on the reverse like I did the first time. But if you've got good experience, you just got to brush up on all the bad habits and yeah, you should be fine. Right, thank you for watching. Hope this video has been helpful. Love all the comments, keep coming in. Love that. Just keep them coming in and hopefully some more videos coming up soon. Thanks for watching.